Some people don't just love control. They crave it, not in the obvious ways you might think, like bossing others around or manipulating situations. No, this is deeper. This is the kind of control that makes them feel safe. The kind of control that makes them feel like they can breathe again. But here's the real truth. It's not about the control at all. It's about the fear of losing it, the fear of being exposed, the fear of vulnerability. For some, control is the only thing that shields them from the chaos of their own insecurities. But here's where it gets even darker. That craving for control, that constant need to micromanage every situation, it's not as empowering as it seems. In fact, it's often a prison. One that they've built around themselves, brick by brick, and they might not even realize it. Let me tell you about someone I knew. Sarah was always in control of everything. Her house, her job, her friendships, everything. If things weren't going according to plan, she'd step in and fix it. But there was one thing Sarah couldn't control: her emotions. She avoided them at all costs. In relationships, she'd put up walls, ensuring that no one could get too close. She wasn't scared of the people around her. She was terrified of the emotional vulnerability that came with letting anyone inside her fortress. She controlled everything around her because inside she felt completely out of control. But that's not the worst part. The real damage is what happens when you get used to living like this. When you convince yourself that the only way to survive is to maintain control, you start to lose sight of who you really are. You begin to see yourself as the protector of your own prison, not as a person worthy of love or connection. It's like a game. You keep winning, controlling everything you can, but the deeper you go, the more you realize you're not actually free. You're trapped in a loop that you can't escape, and by the time you see it, your mind has already adjusted to the cage. But what's even more dangerous is that this craving for control becomes addictive. Over time, it shapes how you see the world and the people in it. You start to view every relationship, every conversation, every moment as something to be managed, something to be contained. And in doing so, you lose something vital. You lose the ability to just be. Take John, for example. A successful businessman who always had his life together, or so it seemed. But deep down, he was constantly worried about losing everything: his job, his status, his image. So he controlled every interaction, every decision, to maintain this perfect facade. The problem was that John's need to control was suffocating the very people who cared about him. His friends grew distant, his relationships grew cold, and he was left with a life that looked great on paper but felt hollow inside. The thing about control is that it disguises itself as protection. It makes you feel like you're keeping yourself safe from the world, but in reality, it's slowly killing your ability to trust and connect. You might recognize this pattern in yourself. Maybe you've built walls to protect yourself. Maybe you're always double-checking, overanalyzing, trying to control every outcome. You've convinced yourself that if you don't stay in control, something terrible will happen. But what if the real danger lies in the way you've conditioned yourself to believe that control is the answer? It's a dangerous cycle, one that keeps you from experiencing life as it's meant to be. You're not living, you're surviving. And that's a terrifying thought, isn't it? But the hardest part is realizing that control isn't a shield. It's a mask. And once you see that, you can never unsee it. The real damage isn't about what's happening on the outside. It's the silent transformation happening inside you. You become someone you don't even recognize. So, what's the answer? Can someone break free from this need for control? The first step is recognizing that control isn't what keeps you safe. It's the illusion of safety that traps you. Once you understand this, you can start to rebuild, piece by piece. But it takes time, it takes courage, and it all starts with one painful truth. Sometimes you don't need control, you need vulnerability. You need to let go and trust that the world can still hold you, even if you can't control every little detail. If this resonated with you, subscribe for more deep psychology and human behavior. Until next time.